Hey everybody, welcome back to Runaway Roses. You asked for it, so again we're going to do another comparison of our Lance and our Northern Lite.
This week we're going to compare the interiors of both of them, so stay tuned. We got a lot to go over, so this may be a long video. Grab your popcorn and your favorite drink and let's go inside. We're going to start here in the kitchen of the Lance, and then we'll move over to the Northern Lite and I'll show you how those compare. First of all, I would like to talk about the cabinet space in the Lance. As you'll see, there's not a ton of cabinet space, but it's sufficient. I think it's sufficient. Here you got a cabinet that typically in the older Lances, it's got a pull-out pantry. In this one, it actually has a ton of shelf space in it, so that makes for a lot of storage there. It's got some drawers and another small cabinet right here, as you'll see there. The oven is very similar, to the same size as the Northern Lite. This is all very similar, 3-burner stovetop. Cover here. This is actually stainless. In the Northern Lite you'll see it's a glass top, which is really cool. Here we have the built-in microwave that is quite different than the Northern Lite. You'll see that whenever we move over there as well. And then there's a little bit of storage right here. I can't remember if I covered that already. And then one other thing, the sink is it's a pretty deep sink. It's just a big sink, one big sink. Has a pull-down faucet, and that's not something that we have in the Northern Lite. We have a pull-down faucet in this one, not in that one. So, one more feature that the Lance has is a pull-out trash can, which is pretty cool. It's kind of a small trash can, but you can put quite a bit of stuff in and take it out to the trash can outside. So let's move over to the Northern Lite, and I'll show you how it compares to the kitchen in the Lance. Now we're in the Northern Lite. I'm going to go over the kitchen in the Northern Lite so you can get a good idea of the comparison between the two. So starting over here, we have, as you'll see, we have cabinets all over here, like tons of cabinet space. Very, deep cabinet space here. As I mentioned when we were in the Lance, this does not have a built-in microwave, so you could essentially take it out and use that as storage if you'd like. I've seen some people do that don't use a microwave, so, that's your choice. Let's see, it has the, similarly, the fan, very similar oven, a little bit different, 3-burner stovetop. The difference here is the glass top on this, so this sink is similar to the other one as far as like size. This one may be slightly deeper. This does not have a pull-down faucet on it like the Lance does. So one thing we found about the Northern Lite is it does have a ton of storage space in here. If you look around, you'll see cabinets everywhere. And while it does have a ton of storage, we were able to move everything over to the Lance. Had to remove a few things that maybe we didn't use so often, but if you're okay with less stuff, that probably would work for you. We are back in the Lance, and I'm going to show you the next difference. The next difference is a big one because it is what adds the space to the Lance. So this has a slide, and in the slide you'll see it has the dinette here and the refrigerator. The dinette is a large 4-person dinette. Actually, I think it's a standard 4-person dinette, which is pretty different from what you'll see in the Northern Lite. It also makes into a bed. This actually has like a articulating stand here that you can lower it down to make the bed, lay the cushions down, and I would say it sleeps one adult comfortably. Probably we haven't ever used it like that. While there's a love-hate relationship usually with the slides, they do make for more space in a camper. You have to give it that. So, you can be the judge as to whether you would want to slide or not, but it works out for us because it does add more space. One other thing I would like to point out is the fridge is slightly bigger in this camper than it is in the Northern Lite. One of them says that they actually are both called a 6 cubic foot refrigerator. This one has 4 shelves. This has 1, 2, 3 shelves, and then it has that shelf down there with the 2 produce drawers. But this one is bigger, definitely bigger than the other refrigerator, and I've found that just from putting stuff in it to go camping. So let's go check out the Northern Lite, and I'll show you the differences in the Northern Lite as it compares to the Lance. Okay, now we're back in the Northern Lite. So comparing the dinette of the Northern Lite to the Lance, as you can see, it's slightly smaller. It's still pretty comfortable for 4 people. We have sat 4 people comfortably one night when it was cold outside, and it, was just fine. One of the big differences that we find is that it has this sliding top on it, which is, when you have a pet, it really makes, for them to be able to get up without hitting their head or something like that over here. So, and also, it makes more space whenever you just want to sit and hang out comfortably. So that is the dinette area. It does have a couple of drawers down below one side of the dinette, as you'll see right there, that you can store. Not quite as big as what you saw over in the Lance, but it is storage. And one other thing that I probably should point out while we're on this side is more storage above the dinette on this side. So moving on over to the fridge, this refrigerator in the Northern Lite is a Dometic. It's a 3-way fridge. The one in the Lance is a Norcold, and it's a 3-way fridge as well. The difference, as I said before, the other one is slightly bigger. You may or may not be able to tell by looking at the spaces inside. However, when you go camping, you can tell that you can fit just a little bit more in the other refrigerator of the Lance. So one other difference of the fridges is that the outside has a mirrored front on it. We've really enjoyed this. Some people don't like having a mirror on their refrigerator, but that would be something that you would have to decide. So let's move on to the next thing over in the Lance.
Okay, it's my turn. I'm going to show you some stuff around the bed and the AC and that sort of thing. So first off, that a lot of people have mentioned in the comments is the bed height. And so we're going to measure that and see how that compares. So I'm just going to start off by measuring the center of the bed to the roof. And this bed does have a 3-inch memory foam on top of it, so we'll just deduct the 3 inches. So I'm just going to go from the center of the bed to the roof to that skylight. It's 28 inches, so figure that'd be, without the memory foam, 31 inches. So that's that. We'll check that out over at the Northern Lite. And in the bedroom area, let me show you, it has a wardrobe. Wardrobe's around the corner. It's a big wardrobe. It is bigger than the Northern Lite. However, it is a little bit more difficult to get to. The right side of the bed has a cabinet down there. And the left side has a drawer down there. I don't know if you can see it in the light there. Both campers do have the reading lights over there. And then this one has the really neat recessed light that the Northern Lite does not have. This one does have a cabinet in there with shelves, and the Northern Lite has a wardrobe there that's wide open where you can hang stuff in there. The AC and the Lance has I really should say, heat and air. It's all controlled by the thermostat here. So the air conditioning in the Lance is a 10,000 BTU unit. It's the Dometic unit. They both have Dometic air conditioners. The Northern Lite has an 11,000 BTU air conditioner. And the Lance, like I said, it does control the furnace, so the heat and air is all done through this. In the Northern Lite, the air conditioner controls are on the system up here, so you can control it on the roof. And then the furnace has a separate thermostat. So there's one difference there. So let's go over and check out the bedroom area in the Northern Lite and get that measurement. Okay, now we're back in the Northern Lite. So I'm going to go ahead and get that measurement from the center of the bed to the roof. It is 35 inches to the skylight, basically about the same point. So there's about, I guess really about a 4-inch difference between the two. Although this does feel a lot roomier. So there's definitely more room right here as I sit here, because the Northern Lite, it inclines as it goes up here. So there's more room here than there is back in the center. And the lance, it's kind of flatter, so it's more even throughout the whole thing. This kind of opens up and gets larger as it gets towards the kitchen and dining area.
And the lance is closed off on
the lance is closed off. It's got a wall, you know, here to there. So the whole bedroom area of the Northern Lite, to me, does feel a lot roomier and a little more inviting to me. But you know, they're both nice. They both have a queen size bed, 80-inch bed, and similar cabinets, storage on both sides. So they're pretty similar. It's just, what do you like? Okay, next up are the bathroom comparison. So first we're going to take a look at the Lance dry bath compared to the Northern Lite wet bath that we have. Although Northern Lite does offer some dry bath options for certain models, especially their new 21 model. Supposedly it's bigger. But we're going to take a look at this that we have in the Lance and see how it compares. The wet bath is fairly large. It has a large countertop space next to the sink, which is really nice to be able to put a bunch of stuff. And then on the cabinet, it does have one drawer, and it's got a door that goes underneath the cabinet, and that's where the toilet paper holder is and that sort of thing. And the water heater is actually underneath that cabinet. One thing that we really like about the bathroom in the Lance is that it has a foot flush toilet, just more of a standard toilet. And this toilet is all plastic. It's not porcelain, but it does actually work really well. And it's got the full dry bath, has the separate shower, so that has been really nice. And it's got the skylight in it, and this bar folds out there so you can pull the curtain around to get more space in there. It's got an adjustable shower head, which has been really nice. It's the dark bronze color or whatever, as well as the sink faucet. It does have a medicine cabinet in it. Both of them have a medicine cabinet. This one's just separate. The other one has the built-in glass in the medicine cabinet. So that is the bathroom and the Lance. So let's go take a look at the Northern Lite. So now we're back in the Northern Lite. The Northern Lite bathroom does have a sliding door, which is really cool, and it's got the mirror on it. As you can see, the storage and the cabinets on the other side. So this model 10.2 has the wet bath, and it's pretty roomy. I mean, it works. It's got plenty of height in it, and I can stand up in it comfortably. It has, you know, just the built-in sink there, and just the standard white faucet. And we did put Oxygenics shower head in there, so that helps a little bit with that. It does actually have a nicer, larger fan than the one in the Lance. The toilet in the Northern Lite is not a foot flush. They have a side lever flush. So, you know, that's just kind of the way They are, I guess. Our other one had the same type of toilet in it. And I prefer the foot flush, but you know, it works.
So we're back in the Northern Lite, and I wanted to point out some other things that are kind of important to us because of our dog. So in our Lance, we found that it's a little more difficult for Taylor to see out and get around, and in the Northern Lite, it's much easier. I'm not sure if they did that intentionally, but it's, you know, a lot of people will find that very important because they're pet owners, and we totally understand that. But Taylor typically, she really enjoys this camper, I think, because she can come in, she can step up here, and even when she wants to get on the bed, she can just hop up here, and it's very easy for her to do that. It's not so easy in the Lance, as you'll see whenever we move over there. One other thing is she has this window here to look out, and then on the back of the Northern Lite, there's actually a window down below that she can see out that way as well whenever that bottom screen's open. So those are just you know, things that, you know, may or may not be important to people. If you don't have a pet, it may not be, but we find it important because, you know, Taylor is a very big part of our lives. So a couple of other things. This step here is storage. There's storage underneath. I think in the newer Northern Lights, it's actually a much bigger step, and they actually have a drawer underneath there. But in this one, it's just, you know, some added storage, which is kind of cool too. So let's move over to the Lance, and I'll kind of like show you how it's not really very accessible for Taylor over there in that camper. So we're back in the Lance, and I just wanted to give you guys a quick overview of how Taylor gets around in here, and you know how things aren't so, I guess not really, they're pet friendly, but she just doesn't have a whole lot of ways to look out the windows and that kind of thing. So we have to figure out a new way for her to be able to like get up onto the dinette so she can see out the windows at least. She has a hard time getting up on this seat here because, as you can see, it's because of the way the slide is made. It's this plus this and then that added pad there. So we have to find some sort of step in order for her to be able to get up so she can get up there. Also, as far as the bed goes, she cannot get up here, which, you know, in some ways that's kind of a good thing because most people would say your dog's not supposed to sleep with you, but she really gets, I think she gets upset because she can't get up there. As you can see, this is not, a dog cannot get up there unless they're a Great Dane, and Taylor's not a Great Dane, and she has hip issues. So there you go. You know, if you have a dog, you know, maybe a Northern Lite might be for you. One more thing, or actually a couple more things in here that I'd like to point out that we have not gone over are, and Todd mentioned it in the first video that we did on the comparison, but in this one you can actually see the screen here on the interior. This is a built-in screen. It doesn't come out whenever you open the windows, so it keeps bugs from coming in whenever you close the windows, close and open them. Added bonus feature about this camper is it has this really cool pull-down screen that you can pull over the window at night so that nobody can see in. In the Northern Lite, I can't remember if we showed you, but you have to actually open the screen in order to pull down the nightshade, so it's a little inconvenient as far as that goes, but we'll give you a little view of what that looks like here in just a moment.
In order to close the shades on the Northern Lite door, you have to actually open the door, step outside, swing the screen back, and then reach up and close the shades. You know, then screen, and then come back in the camper. So it's not a big deal, but if you're at a campground and it's dark out or it's raining and that sort of thing, or you don't know if there's people out there, or if you're dressed and about ready to go to bed, then you gotta, you know, put some other clothes on or something like that. Can be kind of a hassle. It'd be nice to have a shade to pull down right there. Next up is the interior lighting. And both campers have LEDs throughout. They are just different. The Lance has more of a puck style light. As you can see, they're just round, and they're kind of placed periodically around the camper. They're actually well placed, so they've definitely put some thought into that. And as well as the bedroom has the recessed light there, which is pretty neat over the bed. The dinette has the dimmable light there, which is really pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then down here, as you enter, is a light switch that goes to the center of the camper there. So that way, when you come in, it's, you can just flip the switch as you come up the steps and turn the lights on, and then you can turn the other ones on by hand. This camper does have solar. There's one 100-watt solar panel on here, and the controller is up here next to the microwave. And I guess it works fine. I don't know. We haven't really used the solar for anything or gone boondocking or anything. We still, we've only used this camper twice so far, so we still got to try that out. But it did work fine when we ran the refrigerator on DC. It worked pretty good to help charge the battery, so which is basically what we do in the Northern Lite as well. In the control area, this one does have an Onan generator starter, and then of course the tank controls there. And of course the Northern Lite has tank controls, and our Northern Lite does not have a generator, but it is an option. So we just don't have that option on ours, but there is a spot for it, as if you saw our exterior comparison, you would have seen that spot for the generator. So either way, you can put one in, or actually one good option in the Northern Lite is that in that generator box, you can actually put a suitcase style smaller, Honda kind of generator in that box and store it and close the door. So you don't even have to have a built-in propane Cummins style generator, but you can install one of those in that as well. So that's just a couple more options on that. So we're gonna keep walking around and checking out some more. Okay, now that we're back in the Northern Lite, just want to show you the lights in here. As you can see, they basically run down the hallway. There's several of them, and they're more of just the traditional RV light. It'll do one or both lights, so they work quite well. And they got the lights throughout the whole camper. Really, there's some underneath the dinette there, and then over the bed area on both sides, and then over the kitchen area. So the lighting is really good in here. And then there's one in the bathroom area as well. This Northern Lite does also have solar. Here's the control panel there, and it has two 100-watt solar panels on the roof. So they've worked quite well to help keep the batteries charged while we run the refrigerator on DC, and we haven't had any problems doing that, so it's worked great. So they're very similar as far as both of those features. They're just a little different. Let's go on to the next thing. One last thing before we wrap up this video. An important thing that a lot of people have been asking. What does this camper weigh, the Lance? And what does the Northern Lite weigh? So we're going to take a look at the stickers and find out. So in here is the factory Lance sticker, and it says that this camper, with the options that it has, is 4,468 pounds minus 413 pounds for water and propane. So that would make this camper 4,055 pounds. And then of course if you add 40 pounds for 2 propane tanks, you put some water in the tanks, groceries, all your personal stuff, it gets pretty heavy pretty fast. So we're going to go over and take a look at the Northern Lite and see what it weighs. I'm back in the Northern Lite, and in the Northern Lite, the sticker is in the wardrobe area. And on it, it says 3,325 pounds dry weight. So I don't know whether or not that includes any propane or not. Probably not. It's just the dry weight. So there you go. This one's $33.25. The Lance is basically 4,055 pounds. So there's a significant bit of difference, around 7,000 pounds plus or minus. So it's something to consider based on whichever truck that you'd be putting just one of these two campers in. So there you go. That's your weights. Last but not least, we're going to take a look at the dinettes turned into a bed. And this one here is the Lance. And I just want to show you the overall length of it. It is a little shorter than the Northern Lite. It is right at 71 inches. So it's 5 foot and 11 inches in the overall length. So, an adult could probably sleep there. I can almost sleep there. I definitely could with a little bit of, sleeping diagonally. But so that's the bed length for the Lance. Let's go look at the Northern Lite. We're back in the Northern Lite, and here's the dinette turned into a bed. It's rather large. It is actually longer than the bed in the Lance. Let's take a look at it. It is right at 74.5, almost 75 inches. So it is about 6 foot 3 inch basically overall. So I'm 6 foot. I could lay down on there and sleep just fine. It'll definitely sleep an adult very comfortably. So there it is. There's the interior walkthrough comparison of each one of them. Hopefully it helped some of you if you're looking at both these campers. But if not, hope you enjoyed the video. So until next time, we'll see you on Runaway Roses. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.